Thank you for the opportunity to present a new MA program, Knowledge and Communication. This program will start in October at the Department of Communication at the University of Münster. My name is Julia Metag. I'm a professor of communication science and head of the study program that we will present here. I will present the program together with Pamela Nölleke-Przybylski, who is postdoc in our department and also coordinator of the new program. So first of all, we would like to tell you a little bit about why we actually decided to set up such a program. Why did we think this is useful? What is our rationale behind this? Why do we think that an MA knowledge and communication matters? So let me tell you a little bit about this overall idea behind this program. If we look at the academic, societal, and digital context that we are all situated in, we can identify several reasons that kind of led us to developing an MA program focusing on knowledge and communication. Overall, like the general societal challenges that society is facing is one of the reasons that led us to setting up such a program. We live in a knowledge society, of course, so the exchange and shaping of knowledge plays an ever-growing role in science, but not only in science, also in civil society, politics, education, and business. And we think that knowledge communication plays an important role in addressing contemporary challenges. Just to give a few examples, we've seen that during the pandemic, but also when facing issues surrounding planetary health, for example, but also anti-science attitudes, for example, such as science-related populism, as well as the rise of alternative knowledge platforms. All of this makes knowledge communication very important because when we talk about knowledge communication, we can address, for example, challenges such as answering questions as why do we not behave accordingly to what science tells us with regard to planetary health or climate change. So this is kind of the broader societal context we're coming from. And of course, what also plays a role in there is digitalization, because digitalization and datafication redefine how knowledge is produced and used. Digitalization alters the creation of knowledge, so in what form it's available, how it's disseminated, how it's created, and also how we access this. We can access knowledge almost everywhere now through the internet and more easily. AI, for example, provides us with answers to scientific questions, whether they're right or wrong, but there is an answer. And we're also facing the emergence of new forms of knowledge. And what our program is especially focusing on is this data as knowledge. So we do not only focus on scientific knowledge in this MA program, but on different forms of knowledge. For example, knowledge that stems from data collected by social media platforms, huge amount of data that is collected there, but also alternative forms of knowledge that is created by, for example, alternative epistemic authorities. So we think this MA program is one of the possible scholarly responsive to the ongoing changes society is facing. We are building in the program on robust research in science and communication science. Among this, for example, science communication research, but also research on social media, of course, alternative media, and also epistemic authorities. Because we have this focus also on knowledge as data, the program will combine social science research, communication science research, first of all, and also computational methods. And since we are dealing with knowledge, of course, the whole matter of epistemology is also very important for this program. So we hope that the program will enable critical, empirical, and strategic understanding of knowledge generation and transfer. We think there's a demand for this across different sectors, politics, education, media, and business, for example, to name some of the important ones, because in these sectors, experts are needed who understand how knowledge is created, communicated, and how this whole process is changed and challenged in digital, cultural, and institutional context. We will focus later on more in detail on where graduates of this program are able to work and what their career prospects are, but this is generally the demand that we see here. So what are the topics of this program? Here you see the program focus area. So this is not the overview of the modules. This is more to give you some overview on the topics that are covered in different modules and different classes in this program. Of course, if we talk about, or if we call a program knowledge and communication, we have to deal with what knowledge is first of all. So we of course include some discussions on interdisciplinary concepts of knowledge, also on new epistemic authorities. And in these classes, we will include perspectives from sociology, philosophy, political science, psychology, and so on as well. Then science communication, of course, is one important part of this program, because scientific knowledge is an important form of knowledge, of course. So we will deal with theories, paradigms, and also practical and applied challenges of science communication. We'll discuss, for example, different paradigms of science communication, from the deficit model to science and society. And there's always a possibility then to dive deeper into certain areas in different classes. As I've said before, there is this focus on computational communication science in the program, because a lot of knowledge is created from big amounts of data today. So we will have courses on this, on advanced methods of social science research. For example, courses will be offered such as network analysis or automated text analysis. Strategic and digital communication are also important areas. We will answer or tackle questions as to how can knowledge be communicated strategically, for example, to reach certain target audiences. We will also have a focus on sustainability in knowledge dissemination, often from a media sociological perspective, because we have a colleague focusing on the whole area of sustainability in communication there. So how is knowledge communication related to aspects of social sustainability will be a topic there. Overall, of course, we will look into the whole process of knowledge production in different institutions and journalism, but also automated knowledge production. What role does traditional journalism still play for knowledge dissemination, but also which other institutions and actors are relevant in the process of the knowledge order? Data, trust, ethics, and misinformation is these are somewhat cross-cutting issues that play a role in various and numerous courses within the degree program. They will be tackled in many different classes. And we will also, of course, look at the usages and effects of knowledge communication, because, of course, if we want to answer questions related to societal change, this, of course, needs to include a perspective on how knowledge can be used to achieve what kind of effects, for example. So what is this program aiming at? Where do graduates from this program might work later? What are their career prospects? We think that graduates from this program become experts that today's knowledge society needs. They will leave the program with strong analytical skills and a deep understanding of how knowledge is created, communicated, and used, especially in digital contexts. So they can go and work in a wide range of fields, for example, in scientific or applied research, but also in science communication, PR, or journalism, for example. They can take on roles such as data analysts, data journalists, digital editors, social media experts, or communication consultants, and work, for example, in universities, other research institutions, media companies, of course, museums, cultural organizations, public authorities, and beyond. We think what makes them stand out is their ability to work across disciplines, to make complex information understandable, and to navigate the digital tools and methods that are reshaping how we produce and share knowledge. This is especially possible because of this focus on computational methods that we have in this program. The program is an English language MA, and I haven't really talked about why we decided to set this up as an English language program, and there are several reasons for this. First of all, the topic itself kind of calls for international perspective. Since digital knowledge transfer usually goes beyond borders, Knowledge is often borderless in nature, most of these processes are global ones, and this is also why we thought it makes sense to set it up as an English language program. So overall, of course, this should support the internationalization of teaching at our department, and we think for this an English language program is key. Currently, there is no other full English language degree program at our department, and this new program then should, first of all, broaden, of course, the access to knowledge communication for national as well as international students, and also enrich the German academic curriculum. Then, of course, we hope that it will also increase the diversity, the cultural diversity at the department and our university overall, and maybe provide one step to help overcome the so-called weirdness of academic life in Germany. We think that it will also help to promote the international mobility among students, but also, of course, among academic staff, because a lot more exchange will be possible, and so this will help strengthen academic education overall, we think, through this English language program. And now I'll hand over to Pamela for telling about how the MA Knowledge and Communication is structured.
I'm happy to have this opportunity to share a bit more specifically what this master's program is all about, how it is structured, who it is designed for, and what exactly students learn during their studies. First of all, this is a master's program that clearly distinguishes itself from others. As an English language MA with its particular focus, it's unique in Germany, and it also sets itself apart from master's programs we know from outside of Germany. So what is this distinctive focus that makes it stand out? The program centers on knowledge and the communication of knowledge, going beyond traditional perspectives on science communication. The concept of knowledge, as it is understood in our program, encompasses not only knowledge validated by the scientific systems, but also alternative forms of knowledge and everyday understandings. So the program is rooted in communication science, but it also integrates educational, sociological, and psychological perspectives on knowledge. Based on this concept of knowledge, the program explores a broad range of ideas around how knowledge is generated, processed, and disseminated, including the understanding of data as knowledge and the production of knowledge from data. As a result, one of the program's focal areas is computational communication science. In addition, the program takes a distinctively international perspective on the topics it covers. As Julia already mentioned, we aim to broaden academic horizons through the diversity of our student cohorts. And another defining feature of this master's program is the study environment, small seminar groups, close academic supervision, and as we also would highlight, a young, green, and culturally vibrant university town. Here's a brief look at the prospective students we are seeking. We are looking for students with a bachelor's degree in communication science, media studies, or related disciplines. That means students should have a background in the social sciences, as we build on corresponding methodological knowledge. However, this, for example, does not mean that applicants need prior experience with computational methods. Quite the opposite. Students will learn the fundamentals of working with computational approaches here, though ideally they should be curious and open to these methods. Just as important is an interest in intercultural exchange, since the cohort will be international, and because the program is taught in English, proficiency at C1 level is required. This QR code at the bottom leads to all the detailed admission requirements and also to the application portal where students can apply until mid-July. So what exactly do students learn in the program? Julia has already provided a broad overview of the thematic focus areas. To briefly summarize, students learn to comprehend the field of knowledge in science communication and its significance. They will understand processes, drivers, challenges, and effects of knowledge communication. They will recognize approaches and procedures for effective knowledge communication. They will, as already mentioned, apply computational methods to structure, organize, and evaluate data. And they will collect, process, and analyze various data using advanced methodologies. They will also address research problems in knowledge and science communication independently. And how do students learn all of this? They acquire this knowledge through the program's modules and its overall structure. I won't go into every detail here due to time constraints, but just want to give you an overview. The program consists of discipline-specific courses that address various aspects of knowledge communication, including practical perspectives and a specific focus on the generation of knowledge and the production of knowledge communication, as well as the effects of knowledge communication on individuals, organizations, and society. A strong emphasis is placed on methods training. Students learn advanced methods of data collection and analysis, including techniques and procedures from computational communication science. One particular highlight of the program is the 2-semester research module. Over the course of a full year, students work on comprehensive research projects, providing an ideal preparation for their empirical master's thesis. So to summarize, what is the academic added value we offer? First of all, students develop the competencies and tools to critically analyze and design knowledge systems in organizations and society. They are trained not as PR practitioners, but as decision makers and analysts. They benefit from the bridge the program builds between cultures and disciplines, enabling cross-border perspectives, and graduates acquire a strong foundation for academic careers or knowledge-driven strategic roles. So our vision with this program is to add some parts of the puzzle of fostering a new generation of reflective, critical, and research-driven experts. We aim to advance communication science into the age of data, into the age of knowledge and data, and I hope that the program can serve as a model for how academia can respond to a changing knowledge landscape. We want to offer a program designed to shape how we understand and communicate knowledge in the 21st century. So this, of course, is aiming high, but hopefully we will achieve at least some of these aims, and we are really looking forward to getting started. If there are any questions, we are very happy to answer them, and we also look forward to any feedback and exchange on our degree program and the idea behind it. Thank you very much.